back to another episode of Gas Grab a Seat podcast, where we have unfiltered chats that fill your mind. I'm your host, Amanda, and today is a special day because I not only have a guest, but he is a real, true friend of mine, ex-coworker. If someone don't snatch him up in a few years, maybe baby daddy. We gonna find out.
That's wild. That's crazy. That's funny.
I mean, you gotta speak what you want, right? Okay. Anyway, introduce yourself.
No, thank you for having me. My name's Alex. Like she said, real good friend, ex-coworker, future possible baby daddy. We'll see what the future holds, but yes, I'm happy to be here, blessed to be here. Thank you for popping my podcast cherry.
Anytime. We love that around here.
Can we say that? Can I say that?
You can.
That's I don't know if that's
be like when the tab says, sensitive. Is this made for children? I don't know, actually. Yeah, so how have you been? So real talk, we haven't seen each other in forever. Like, I do love this man with my whole heart, but also when you start adulting, you realize that like friendship really means your friends are busy too. Like everybody's just busy and we still love each other. We just haven't seen each other. So legitimately, like, how have you been? What's up? What are you doing in the world now? Like, you know.
I've been good, really good. And on top of that, it's very refreshing to have friends that you could just skip a whole lifetime and then you don't skip a beat when you meet up with them. So that's Facts. How you know it's real.
Facts.
But no, good. Just working full time for the county, serving in church, navigating the waters of life in the areas of brotherhood, being the son, being an uncle, and just being not just a friend but an overall good person.
I love that.
Yeah.
Being an overall good person.
Just an overall best version of me, you know.
Facts. Yo, real talk. Alex and I go like way back. We used to be Green Apron buddies together. And I feel like we came up like, did you start as a barista? You started as a barista too, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, like we started as baristas. We both became supervisors. And I don't know how Alex is still friends with me because I was still growing at that time too. And I put this man through hell. Like we had some backroom, I don't even know what to call them.
Conversations, heated debates, passionate. Yeah, that's
like it really was all love, but I realized as I've grown, like, dang, you gotta chill, like, because I let stuff bottle up and then it spills out crazy, and just learn how to like watch your words and like bring it back when you're more more regulated and mellow. Because I was wild. I am so sorry. I apologize.
I didn't.
Oh my God, I just had flashbacks.
Is this what this was? Is this an intervention of apology right now?
No, but I had flashbacks. I was like, oh my God, I was terrible. I'm so sorry.
Well, I mean, I wasn't the best version of myself either. You know, it's just
look at us.
Reflection. That's part of growth. You reflect.
It is. Yeah. Like I haven't been around for a hot minute, so obviously from the outside looking in, you have experienced a lot of change, a lot of growth, like all the things. I mean, career, because you were doing film at one point.
Post-production.
Yes, post-production. And then now, like you just said, county, obviously more involved in church. We had conversations about church in the past, like back and forth. Your health, like I see you be in the gym, like out here getting fit on us. Mm-hmm. So with all of that, that's a lot of shifts, a lot of change. What's been the hardest to navigate?
Right now, to be honest, just making time for myself, learning how to not give myself completely to situations, to people, to circumstances, to just energies that come about the day, and truly kind of give myself some time to rest, some time to just reflect on me. And one thing I did this year coming in was January. I just decided to do like a dry January. Okay. Didn't drink, didn't partake in any debauchery of any sort, kind of, you know, kicked, drinking, smoking, whatever. It wasn't really edifying, like to me physically. And then in that, I realized I am a very irritable person. There's
Okay.
yeah, there's things that I kind of like.
More self discovery.
Yeah,
came from
exactly,
it.
self
Okay.
discovery. So I learned a lot about myself. I had to give myself a lot of grace. I'm already a big hefty preacher on that, but more so just yeah, giving myself time to like rest, maybe disconnect from people and just being okay with like, hey, this is fine, this is normal. I'm not being rude because I'm saying no to certain invites from friends or potential outings. Is like no, like I'm taking time to like that's been the one thing that's been hard. Like I've how does that look like? Well, there's a big old pile of laundry that needs to be put away in my room. It's been there for months.
I'm dead.
Yeah,
I feel that though.
so that's one thing, and just yeah, like I don't know, life's just been so busy and on the go. Sometimes you just really need to like just chill, relax, maybe take a vacation. Do something for you.
Is it hard? Do you feel like you're a people pleaser or were a people pleaser?
I was, and there's times now like where I catch myself and I'm just like, no. Okay. Yes, you love this person. They know that. You don't need to, do this or that. Or now I think it's just easier to kind of like decipher whether or not people are worth your time. I hate to say it that way. I don't mean to sound insensitive, real. But it's true. It's honest. It's me, and I feel like a lot of people should, you know, truly kind of see like, yo, this person, does this thing, does this, decision benefit me, right? And do I need to keep giving it way or giving it priority, or do I need to give me priority? So
I agree with that. Yeah. I had a friend tell me that they look at everyone as either an asset or a liability. Yeah. And that stuck with me because I never looked at it that way, but that totally stuck with me. I was like, no, that's real. Like, do you add value to my life in any way? Whether that means like you bring me peace, you give me great advice. Like, do you just add value in any way? Like, some people consider value monetary. So not even just monetarily, but like any value to my life whatsoever. Or are you a liability? Do you cost me my peace? Do you cost me to get in situations? Do you cost me to get in drama? I was like, ooh, that's a good assessment. And with that on the table, some of y'all gotta go.
Yeah. It's important. It's an unfortunate thing because some people are amazing to be around with. Some people are a great time. Some people are, it transactional is what comes to mind when I think about interactions. But at the end of the day, you gotta like what's good for me, what's best for me.
No, big facts. Big facts. So with so much change, like how do you respond to it? Do you automatically embrace it? Do you resist it? Is it easy to kind of just go with it?
I've always been one to kind of just jump in, go with the flow.
That's true.
I think in the amount of time you've known me, I've never been one to kind of lollygag and I just kind of just jump in like. Fact. Starbucks to post production. That just I wanted to be professional and do the honorable thing and be like, give them 2 weeks, but I gave them one, because I it was an opportunity that I had prayed for. Yeah. I remember bringing that up in my prayer time and being granted the opportunity to experience something that's near and dear to my heart, which is TV and film. So.
And how long were you in post production?
For about 2-3 years. I worked on 2 projects. Yeah, so fire. It was reality TV, which was cool. Which was I felt like a really like I maybe skipped a couple steps, but it was dope. I'm blessed to have.
Hey, that's God's grace.
Yes.
Like, look, got you.
Like it's a true blessing, that I can lift up, petitions and prayer, and they be answered in these ways, shapes, and forms that I've never would imagine. But it came in the form of a good friend of mine named John, and I'm thankful to him and his wife because of all the the shadowing, the going over to their workspace, which was home remote.
Okay.
And being there till like 3 or 4 in the morning sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. It was like I kind of became one of their and like me, I have a hard time like, okay, well, who the hell am I? Why are they so comfortable with me? Like I'd get fed, I'd get the Hayward, but I also would be taught, what they're learning. So, best to have worked on 2 shows, and yeah, I there's days that I miss it, and then there's days I'm like, I could have used more time to, so hone the craft. But yeah, no, it was fun. I think one thing I'm learning now is just rather than to jump into change, kind of like hold up.
Okay. Assess it a little
like,
bit.
wait. And I think now more that the big difference between that is like I gotta make sure that all right, as she said, we have religious talks and we're men of faith, so like, God, is this what you want from me? I just want to be obedient right now. Like I don't want to do what I want to do. You choose, and again, too, you got to realize, like, homie sees the desires of your heart. So if you want to pursue something that essentially is not in his ultimate blueprint for your life, I think he lets you dabble a bit. He gives you room to choose, and I think that's a beautiful thing about free will. I don't want to make this about religion right now, so I'm gonna stop.
I mean, no, but that's real though. Like that. Look, we know I'm a God girl. So,
no,
like that's 100% true because God does. Like He knows the motives of your heart, and I mean that's the thing. I think a lot of times, a lot of us move either. It's something that, like you said, we prayed for. So it's like it very much looks like exactly what we prayed for. And not saying that it was like bad or that like it ended badly for you, but there are times where I think even the doors that we walk through, even though they are what we prayed for, the devil hears our prayers too. So like it could be something that's like a distraction, or it opens the door to one thing that you wanted, but then that's going to open the door to other things that you never needed or never needed to experience. And so it's like really, like you said, like having a conversation like, God, Holy Spirit, like, what do you want me to do? Is this from you? Like, is there a way where like, do you want me to edify your name through this somehow? Like, how do I make this move where it's in cohesion with like you and like the purpose on my life? Because everything that glitter ain't gold is what the old people used to say. And I mean, I definitely feel that now because I'm just in a place in life where, like, yes, I have income. Yes, I have a job per se. I be making air quotes like it's not a real job that I get a pay stub for, but it just don't feel like a real job to me. With all the jobs I've had, I'm like, what is this? Like, this is not a big girl job. So, like, yes, I have that, but I'm also in a space where because I don't have that big girl job or the jobs that I used to have, I'm like, I really, realistically, if I'm just being 100% honest and vulnerable, it's like I'm in a state of like desperation, but desperation will lead you down so many dangerous roads. And so I'm like, God, like, come on. I know you hear me and see me. Like, so what is going on? But I also, I mean, I do. I hear my pastor and I do hear how God like speaks through him. And sometimes I'd be like, ew, you in my business. Calm down, baby. But it's like God does. He hears and sometimes he's answered prayers that you've been praying. It's just not right now. Like maybe he's still doing something in you to prepare you for that. Because if he gave it to you too soon, you're going to fumble that. So now what?
Yeah.
Keep working.
No, you said something that I resonated with me because I had a conversation with my pastor, good friend of mine too. He was talking to me and he's like, I believe, now more than ever. And he's like, you've heard me say this before, and I have. He's like, God speaks not just through the doors he opens, but the one he closes, the ones he closes. So, hearing you share that right now made me think of that quote. I truly understand, like, okay, a closed door, closed opportunity. What does that look like? I'm very analytical, but also my mind goes at like light speed.
Right.
So like,
I love it, but it's also like,
which is why like, I'm like Doctor Strange, I'm just like thinking of like all the outcomes and the possibilities and, like despite just overthinking things at a very fast rate, like I'll just jump in because like sometimes you don't want to get caught up in your own thought.
Right.
You don't want to get caught. You just like go for it.
Yeah, like is that my voice or his voice?
Yeah,
Like,
you know,
yeah.
one of the things that I did before my promotion was like when the posting came up, I was just like, why not?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't really too set on like, you know, the county job being it for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I got in because the benefits, you're set. You know, I'm just
Yes,
like,
exactly.
man, I was doing this for the school district. You know, after school, like, but then that changed. My mind, my heart changed. You know, towards a lot of like how I approached it. It wasn't necessarily the same thing. It was different. Like it wasn't a school. More so, it's a community now.
I love that.
And um, yeah, it's been great. Applied, got the promotion, and I'm realizing a lot about myself. You know, my calling, working with people. I'm not gonna lie, I've been thinking about just becoming a man of the cloth. Well, I don't know if that's the term,
Okay.
but I mean, you know, yeah, you know a little bit about my background.
Yeah.
Grandpa's a pastor. Mom and dad just been involved in ministry and church their whole lives, so that was the bulk of my childhood,
Right.
and I'm gonna say the bulk of my life. I don't think there's been a long period of time where I'm not at a religious center or some type of church on Sunday.
Because we always go back to our roots,
yeah,
and that's what your foundation's in. So
you know,
I
that's
get that.
you know, that's the word says, you know, bring up your children in in church in the days of their youth. That way, you know, and like I'd have conversations with parents from the after school program when I'd work there. I remember one time he's like, yeah, man, like, you know, it's good that you're brought up in church. Like, how's your grandpa? Like, and mind you, I wasn't like close with this parent, but he was very proactive. Like, would follow me. I think we have each other's Snapchat. So hearing him kind of say like, yeah, man, I need, like, there was one time, like, I get these random conversations sometimes. It's just like, I don't know you.
Exactly.
Why are you telling me this right now? So, you know, kind of bringing it back to, you know, what we're talking about. Like, it's crazy because it's just like you see throughout these navigations and these waters of life, like okay, I'm starting to see the big picture. I'm starting to see why it is that this change is happening. Why it is that, you know, this is a part of me. You know, so yeah, sometimes we have to put our hands in every basket to see what we're gonna get out of it, and ultimately put in ours. You know, so
yeah,
damn.
I love that, and I think people, you attract. It's like, what is that? Moths to a flame or whatever. Because like people do, like they see you, they feel your light, they probably feel God's light through you, and like that's one thing I definitely pray in a lot of situations. Now, granted, I'm always like, I'm an antisocial, like social person, so realistically, like, don't talk to me. But I guess if you're gonna talk to me, I guess whatever.
Put that on the shirt. Antisocial social person. That's perfect.
Because that's literally me. I'm like, stop talking to me. Like, you're a stranger danger. Stop talking to me. But also, like, people talk to me, and it's funny because I do. Like, I always pray. I'm like, God, like, realistically, just like let your light shine through me. Like, let it not be about me. Like, let people see you through me. Yeah. And then I'd be bothered when they be talking to me. It's like, maybe you feel God's light, maybe you just feel the energy, but that's not the energy I was trying to give out. So what's up?
I don't even think it's that. I think in the history of Amanda Simone in my life, Simone is not her middle name. Do not trademark that.
Right, but it'll always be my middle name to this man, so we let it rock.
She's always been a passionate person. I mean, obviously, this is what, like, episode 600, season 20 of Have a Seat.
That is hilarious.
No, she's always been passionate, and I think the thing about passion is it can be misinterpreted as anger, and it's not so much anger. It's just, no, when you truly believe in something and you know it's truth, and I can relate because I attribute it to my faith sometimes. Like, people ask me about, like, hey, you know, what are your stances and what's your stance on this? What's your ideologies on this? And 9 times out of 10, I always kind of go back to scripture. I go back to what I was brought up in, what is true, what is natural.
Right.
And yeah, it can be misinterpreted, but we build different. We out here,
right.
so you know,
We're us. Look. I realized a long time ago I'm not for everybody, and that's okay, baby. That is okay. I'm not meant to be.
There are days where I hear your voice say that to situations and circumstances that I'm like faced with sometimes, and yeah, I'm not like there's some people that I feel like scripture says like there's a time for everything. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's friends for everything.
Yes.
There's friends for crying. There's friends for laughing. There's friends for times of good. There's friends for times of bad. Mm-hmm. I strongly believe that because, again, going back to learning how to not give all of myself completely, um, I'm always one that's kind of warned about new people. But hey, let me be the judge.
Right.
Yep. And as soon as I come to a verdict, now more than ever, I feel like I've kind of learned where to just cut off different facets that come in and out of me. When, for example, it's just I can be a little too brazen at times, which is why naturally I'm a quiet dude. But my presence screams at people sometimes.
True. Yes.
So
I remember.
Anyways, I'm just learning how to one of my good friends, best friend of mine. I love the guy. Long story short, they warned me about his inaccuracies. He was, I guess, a liar. And I like to give people the benefit of the doubt, but what kind of solidified, like, okay, maybe I shouldn't give people all of me right away. It was one birthday. We sat down. He brought like 2 sets of 40s. Mind you, I only had one. I think he had all 3. And he like came clean about everything that people were warning me about and telling me. And in my mind, I'm like, why are you doing this? Yep. Like I never asked.
Right.
I never asked, you to clarify anything. I never asked, for you to be real with me or anything. How we met was at a party, and I just, hey, you're a good time. I'm a great time. Let's be a great time together, and just enjoy the guy's company. But that I think I realized, and you think you're like, oh well, are you still friends? Well, yeah, we are. Now I just because he did that, it kind of taught me like there's something again there's transactional
that yeah exactly.
So like, what does he need and what does he not need? And as his friend, like there's certain things I don't agree with sometimes, but I love them, I respect them, and everyone's on their own trajectory of life, and
grace, and then we learn how to set our own boundaries and protect
ourselves.
What's
that trend? We listen and we
oh my gosh, yes. We listen and we don't judge.
But we're judging. No,
just a little bit. Just a little bit.
No, not a little bit. We're judging. We're judging.
What the man said, really. What the man said.
Body language is a thing.
Yo.
So if your body says something and your mouth says something else.
Yes, exactly. People don't pick up on nonverbal cues. That'd be like, ooh, just the unawareness is crazy.
Yeah.
The unawareness is insane.
That's the word of the day. Every day at my office.
Yeah.
My manager, especially. Anyway, we're not going to go down that
I'm
sick. You're good.
Okay, so what has surprised you most about yourself during all of these different transitions?
I think right now, I could say there's just a renewed sense of like confidence, self-worth. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about it lately, and I think I could take it back to a conversation I had with this random woman I had at BJ's, the restaurant, with a friend. My friends recently, separated, single, kind of getting out there. Sparks a conversation. Girl comes over. I end up finding out she went to high school with my uncle, and she was at a notorious party that he threw at their childhood. Well, they're notorious to that little community of high schoolers at the time. But yeah, they were babysitting me one day. My uncle and my aunt, and my uncle has like this big old house party. She was at that party.
Wow.
Fast forward to now, I was like, what, 15 plus years later? Mm-hmm. She's like, oh my God, you were the baby? I was like, yeah. So
we were the baby we had to keep in the room.
In short, you know, she kind of gave me some advice that I wasn't expecting to receive. Mm-hmm. And I think the door or the venue kind of opened up for that conversation because, like, I guess my homie was trying to he was trying his luck at her. Mind you, the woman was very successful. I think in my eyes, a little more successful than my homie. Okay. So, but no, she gave me some really interesting advice, and it was just, she was like, it was as simple as stand tall. Mm-hmm. You know, and she was like, don't slouch. Mm-hmm. No. And I'm over here thinking like, it's posture. Like it's not that serious. And she was like, no. Mm-hmm. You know, so then she kind of broke it down, and I don't know, since then, and mind you, a lot of other like life, you know, core memories. Like this is gonna be a core memory,
right? Fact though.
Mind you, it's the first of many podcasts. I feel, I don't know.
Hey, look.
I said yes to this because I'm realizing that. Yeah, anyways, that's another episode.
Okay, bet. He'll be back.
We'll do the reunion episode.
Yeah. We're going to do this like a Marvel movie. As soon as you see the credits, we're going to come back with a cliffhanger for the next episode.
We'll come back with like 6 more chains.
I love it.
No, so that core memories and just, my mindset's kind of changed. And like, yeah, God's the one to blame. And I say that because, there's certain things in life that try me, but I'm like, no, you know, it's okay. These things, it's normal. Just, you know, don't be so hard on yourself, and don't be so hard on the world.
Facts.
You know, major facts. So I don't know if that's a part of growing up. I think also just becoming old.
I say that too.
Like I never more have I related to Danny Glover's line in Lethal Weapon, the Lethal Weapon series. Getting too old for this shit.
Real talk though.
Yeah.
Real talk though.
No time for nonsense. We're about building each other up here. Mamba mentality.
Look, that's for
R.I.P.
real.
Kobe.
I've like, things have shifted so much, and I mean, so my mom, it's so funny because she'll always ask me like, "Have you talked to so and so? Have you heard from so and so?" Blah 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 blah. And I'm like,
I don't even want to tell you what my mom says.
Like, granted, yes, I care about these people still, and a lot of them I have on social media. So it's like, you know, as long as I see them post here and there, they're alive. Like, I know they're well, right? But like, just having conversations with every single person, and like having the way things used to be, we go and hang out and do X, Y, and Z. Like, life is just different. Things have changed, and you start to also reassess just friendships and all of that. And like, I know me, I don't mean to be like the cutoff queen, but like I do, like I just cut stuff and people off. Like I do, and it's not, exactly. And I don't mean for it to be like personal or rude. It's just a matter of like, I have so many other things going on, and like you said, we have to build each other up, and so you have to think about the company you keep. Like they always say, like if I can tell you who like your 5 friends are, or I can tell you who you are based off of like your closest 5 friends. Yeah. Like that's really what I think about sometimes. And it's like sometimes you just have to elevate the people that you're around. And that's no shade to whoever you may be around and where they're at. But it's like you got to consider the people that you're around, the people who really, you know, and not even in a user type of way, because granted, we're in LA. So a lot of times like you just want to be a leech to someone, but you have to think about like, how can we help each other? Like I thought about this when I went to Palm Springs for my birthday that year. I was like, how do we put 13 people in a house? And like, what are we doing? Like 13 people in a house, there should be some businesses out of this. There should be some collaborative, blah, blah, blah. Like there's just way too much talent and like life in people. And I don't feel like we do enough with it sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
No.
But I mean, you got to consider the people you're around. So have you lost relationships or connections through your changes? And like, if so, how have you kind of dealt with that?
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Like, I attribute it to lack of gym time. When I don't hit the gym, I kind of get it in my head, and one friendship I lost recently, like it was during the pandemic. Long story short, friend had a moral failure. Friend's partner came to me venting because they found out about the moral failure. I was there for friend's partner. Meanwhile, my friend didn't know that their partner came to me and shared all this. And then, like, ultimately, it led to a conversation me and him had at a, what was it called? Yard House, where, we addressed it, and I let them know. I was like, hey, I just don't know why you didn't feel like you couldn't share that with me. Like, we were really tight.
Yeah.
And I revisited a conversation with friend's partner recently. Text them, and I was like, hey, I got a couple questions. And like, so and so's, I see their brother at work because he's a volunteer coach, and then yesterday I saw mom. So I reached out, and it's funny because, like, yeah, when you lose, I want to, again, there's a time for everything. There's a time for mourning. There's a time for happiness. Same thing with friends. There's time for happy friends, and then there's a time to, have mourning friends, and then there's time to mourn friends.
Right.
Yeah, I had a little bit of mourning because I missed the guy. I miss our times together. I miss, like, everything before the moral failure happened. But long story short, I asked, I was like, hey, what did I do? They were like, nothing. I don't know. They're going through a lot right now. Found out his little brother got admitted into rehab.
Wow.
And again, another guy, an extension. Like, when I'm cool with you, when I'm tight, like, and I'm cool and tight with every extension of you.
Right.
Even if that extension don't like me, I don't care. Little brother was probably one of my favorite dudes to see when I would go over for, like, their gatherings or whatever. So yeah, I mean, I also kind of too, like, I don't mind. I don't get caught up in, like, the loss of them. It's more so like, man, I miss them. Man, I would love to, hang out with them again, see how they're doing. But I know it's not the same.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Complete that. Like, I think about people from, like, my time at Starbucks.
Right.
Or our time at Starbucks.
Yeah.
There's some that I can do this. Yesterday, I don't know if you remember him, but Tim, he would work in the mornings. Yeah, I got to marry him and Chase.
Oh, that's so cute! I love that.
I got to marry them on a cruise.
Oh, that's
to Mexico, and we met up yesterday, and they're moving to Colorado Springs.
Nice.
It was bittersweet. We had pot pie, drank some brews, and we just enjoyed each other. It's not the last time.
Right.
Last time in Cali.
Now you get a new travel spot.
Exactly.
Look, I love when my friends move. Bad, I'll see you there.
Yeah. No, that's what I told them. I'm like, all right, cool. This is more incentive for me to, like, take a road trip to see my folks in Kansas. So now I could go the long way, go to Colorado.
Right, exactly.
Or hell, dude, just fly out to Colorado for, like, a couple of days and then drive to Kansas. I don't know.
Right.
I don't like to plan things. I just like to go with the flow.
Spontaneous. Yes. Oh my gosh, that is like oil and water over here. Because spontaneous, I need everything planned. Like,
no, I mean, I'm getting to that point where, like I said, I don't jump into things right away anymore. I force myself, like, whoa. So now I kind of have, like I said, schedule at life, but.
But I love spontaneous people, and I feel like I need y'all around me because I need the challenge of, like, getting out of my head and being so, like, planned and trying to be, like, tailored to perfection. Like, can you just live a little? Like, breathe, girl, breathe. So.
But you are.
I don't know
She
because
doesn't think she's spontaneous enough.
I don't.
She does a lot more than me. She's been to what, dude? You've traveled more than me in the last 5 years. I'm jealous.
Bye.
Also, I need like all the keychains, all the.
That's true. I
All the,
need to like
all,
run it back.
That's it.
Major facts. No, but I love that approach. Not just the spontaneous approach, but just the approach of like how you like look at friendships and relationships. Because me, I know I have this like I'm loyal to a fault, like to people, but also to dumb stuff like even my gym membership. Like I'm so mad that I am like, look, I enjoy LA Fitness, but I'm so mad because I started with 24-hour fitness. I'm supposed to be at 24. Like I'm loyal to a fault, just to weird stuff, right? And so even with friendships though, like that's the thing. I even when it's like I realize like it's not good for me, it's hurting me, it's causing trouble, whatever the case may be, it's still trying to make it work and not just being like it's okay. Like it served its reason, its season, whatever. Maybe I was supposed to learn a lesson from this friendship and it's okay to let it go. So I did. I had to start like praying. I was like, Lord, I need you to change my heart posture towards the way that I look at just relationships and friendships. Let me be okay with letting go. Like if it's not for me, it's okay. It's not for me. Let me get what I need from it and let's go ahead and move on with life. And I feel like he's actually been doing that work, so it's been easier and better now.
Yeah.
But I struggle, like seriously struggle. So yeah, loyal to a fault. It was hard. It was hard. So I love your approach.
You love hard, is what it is. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah, like my approach ain't for everybody, but also like I don't. It's not as easy as I make it sound. Because yeah, like I said, there's people that you miss, but I've there's almost like a sad like undertone in the approach because like yeah, just all right, and it's almost like oh nobody wants to hang out with me, but then my mindset changes like okay, well right, this is an opportunity for me to work on something else. Not every friendship is a gym membership,
right?
But I like the analogy because you can make a gym membership work just like you can make a friendship work. If I go to the gym and the squat rack isn't open, damn, I really wanted to work on legs. But you know what? My glutes will appreciate this workout.
Right.
So it's the same thing with friends. It's like, hey, I really wanted to hang out with so-and-so, do this, but I haven't spoken to so-and-so. Let me reach out to them, or, mind you, the friends that I have lost, like, yeah, I think about reaching out to them all the time.
Right.
As I mentioned in the example, my friend partner told me, like, you haven't reached out to them? I've tried, and nothing. So,
yep.
If I'm not getting any reciprocation in the area of communication,
right,
then I'm
you
not
did
gonna.
Your part.
I
you
did
tried.
my part.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna push it further. Things change. It's okay.
Yep.
And yeah, life moves on.
Yep.
You gotta have grace towards the people that come in and out of your life, and I think more so grace towards yourself because sometimes you could be at fault for them leaving, or they misinterpreted you, or feel some type of way. So they're like, all right, cool, maybe no. Like
be like me, growing pains. My bad.
No, like I like to just what Amanda, for example.
Y'all don't know.
With Amanda, I would just give her time and space. And then I would work my way back in there with my cuddly charm. Because this woman wants to mother my child.
Oh my God.
And
I knew like let him go.
And see, for me, there's some people that when I see more than what they see in themselves, I can't let them go. I can't, yeah, so thank you for years of friendship.
Of course. I love you. Thank you for years of friendship. Because, look, I was working through some things. Jesus.
I know.
I mean, but also, I think the biggest thing, too, is I can absolutely, like, call myself out on my own BS. Like, I have a self-awareness that is insane. And that's why I'm like, no, for real. Like, I was terrible. Like, granted, I thought I was coming from the best place at that time because it was like I just want everyone to be happy and I'm trying to fix everything and like but like whatever. It was coming from a good place, but it was just so wrong. And like again, like self-awareness. I understand that now. So I apologize because my
No, you're
God.
good.
Like,
You're good.
ew.
You have nothing to apologize for.
I made somebody quit because I told them that they were doing trash at their job and they took that person and they quit. Like,
Damn, I forgot who that was, but that did happen. I forgot who it was, but it
like
did happen.
approach people, watch your words.
Well, you got to be built different if you're gonna put on the green apron,
You do.
especially at some of these locations out here. So, you know what? I think this is the right time to kind of, interject this message. Be nice to your baristas,
Please.
Yeah, because you don't know what they're going through.
Right.
Yeah, man,
oh
we've been through hell and back.
Yeah, no, for real. We really do. Between the job and personal life. And a lot of them are in school. Like, calm down. Be nice, please.
You're upside down caramel macchiato at 116 degrees, light ice, no foam, all the whipped cream. 60 pumps of white mocha.
Yeah,
it's not
with
that
cold
serious.
Foam on top.
It's not that
Exactly.
serious.
It's really not.
It's
so
serious.
trivial to the things that we have going on. I promise you. Yeah. So with so many life, because life be lifing sometimes, and I try to like not say that anymore because I had a mentor and I remember him saying that obviously we have to watch our words and like change our words and our mindset and our approach to things. So instead of like life be lifing, even though it does, I really try to like shift that and be like, okay, like life is speaking. So what is it saying? And trying to like understand what's coming out of it. What's going on? Like what do I need to take from it? Where do I need to grow? Like,
Wow.
so yeah, exactly. I definitely have
deep.
a different approach towards it now when I really be having that just life is life and feeling. I'm like, no, life is speaking. What is it saying? Let's take a moment. But in that, for me, like I be having, baby, I gotta go to God. So for you, with life challenges, changes, all of that, do you feel like at times it's challenged your relationship with God or it's just strengthened it? Because I know you said you always been like in church in some way too. So, but still, people be in church and just be playing church. They don't really be having a relationship with God. So
it's easy to go through the motions when you've been brought up in a place as such. So yeah, there's been times in my life where I went through the motions. It's like wake up, brush my teeth, eat, work, go to church, go sleep, repeat the next day. But to answer your question, there is no strength without challenge.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
You better say that. Okay, put that on a shirt, baby. Yeah, that's the one.
For the people down back,
yeah, literally,
there is no strength without challenge. So for me, when challenges arise right now, if I be a little transparent, I'm tackling my finances like for the first time with intentionality. I'm making payment arrangements with, whatever bills, whatever the case may be, and like I'm learning a lot about myself. There's still some things that I need to like cut off from me, and also too like let kind of grow and let the waters of life permeate through those challenges my soul, so they can from cutting off certain things, new things can sprout, new habits, new mindsets, because man, like life can get monotonous. Don't pray for patience, because then you're gonna be waiting for years.
So
don't pray for peace, because you're gonna be battling demons.
Exactly.
But
that is
if
real.
you're up for the task, those things will be granted to you. So yeah, every time a challenge arises, like I think now more than ever, I'm aware of what I'm equipped with. I'm aware of what the Spirit has made me aware of, and if there's a will, there's a way. And right now, I'm like learning a lot about myself, through my living and then through conversations with my parents. One thing that I prayed for, that's happening, is they're, I guess, fortifying their marriage. They emptied the nest, they left.
Yeah.
And my prayer was that, God, bring them together, let them learn about each other, let them learn to love each other in new ways. And
Yeah.
my mom, what was it, Wednesday night, pouring out her heart about like the
Aww.
whole journey and the decision to come out here. And the one thing she said, she's like, me and him have never been so in sync. And I'm like,
oh, I love that.
yeah.
That is beautiful.
I don't like getting choked up, but I'm blessed to have them as an example of what I think is, love that truly just lasts the test of time. And yeah, mind you, they're not perfect people, but they they love each other. Yeah, they're making it work. And
it may be imperfectly perfect, but they're perfecting the areas as they grow too. Like,
it's giving me hope.
Yeah, it's beautiful because people find it way too easy to just give up nowadays. So when you decide, like, no, like, this is my person. I'm here for the ride. Like, we're gonna thug it out. We're gonna make it work. Like, that is beautiful. And also too, because like, yeah, now you have healthy, thriving kids who are finding their own ways. So you do have time to focus on you. Because I think some parents, especially mothers, I feel like mothers are always like used to mothering. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, no matter what, even when you are an adult, like, of course they're still gonna worry about you and this and that. But like, the more you're around, the more it's like that's their purpose, I guess you could say, is like to be a parent and be a mother. And like, when you're all out, maybe it's like, okay, yeah, now I can focus on me, my husband, and like, it's less of that. But call me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so definitely wasn't like that for her at first. She was, obviously she misses her kids. So does dad. They miss their granddaughter.
I'm sure. Yes.
So, they and there's not a day goes by that I don't get a call from them.
Of course.
But
because that probably has its own challenges too, of course. But I love that for them, though.
Yeah, that's no, like, yeah, it's interesting too to see how they face their challenges and what that does to their relationship with God. Because I feel like if anything, it just you got to run to God in the good and in the bad. You got to be able to praise Him. Yep. And also, worship Him, and you got to do it when the time is right and the time is wrong. Because
be like, Alexa, cue Corinne Hawthorne, pray.
Exactly. There's no right or wrong time to give thanks and have an attitude of gratitude and just be grateful. Going back to like full-time serving and playing bass, and now that I'm leading again, I I find myself moments in my preparation to practice the songs for the week. I have them way too many times to count, but I'll be listening to the set list and vocally kind of preparing myself, listening to the notes, and I'll just start tearing up. I'll choke. I won't be able to finish the verse. You end up in
full-blown worship yourself.
Yeah, and I love that I can be able to do that.
Yeah.
Because if you let life
take you away your right,
if you let take life
your praise, yep.
you're not gonna feel like you're just gonna go through the motions. But if you let life speak, absolutely love that.
Look, shout out to my mentor, Dr. Charles Dorsey.
If you let life speak, life is speaking. I love that because we're meant to speak life. So
okay, come on, Pastor Alex.
I think it's just much more beneficial when you just let God just renew and change your mind than you kind of trying to control things on your own end.
Yeah.
I truly believe
we are not God.
Nope.
And we shall be acting like we can do some magical things.
That's why I always say it. Don't be attached to how things look. Don't. You can paint it, you can plan for it, but you can't predict it. So
that's real. Do you feel like you're fulfilled per se in like your career? I mean, obviously you're young, so there's still many avenues to explore, things to go back to, move into, all of that. But for the meantime, do you feel like you're fulfilled in kind of like what your career looks like right now, how you're serving in your church? Are you in a good spot with all of that?
A good spot, yes. Fulfilled, yeah. But there's an insatiable desire and want and like just prompt for me to pursue more for myself.
Mm-hmm.
But more for my faith,
Mm-hmm.
more to further the kingdom, whatever the case may be. I would like to do more. I would
Okay.
like to up the ante. I've always just been that
That.
type. I've been a very competitive person,
Mm-hmm.
but I've had to dumb it down because I could turn into an ugly person if I get too competitive. But point being is, yeah, I just I
There's
always
more.
there's
Yeah,
more
there's
there's
definitely
more
more
to
in you.
attain, and that in itself I think has me fulfilled because it's not
Mm-hmm.
like you know I'm I'm sitting around being stagnant. No, I'm
Right.
I'm working towards progress.
Yep.
I want to work towards progress. So going back to our conversation about surrounding yourself with like-minded people, like I
Mm-hmm.
think that's key because you
Big
want
facts.
to consistently remind yourself, keep yourself accountable. That way you could be in a perpetual state of like, all right, I need to do this. How's this going to better me?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever. Mind you, sometimes you need to turn it off because you will get lost in the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you're really
Don't go down the
going at
rabbit
it
hole.
ham, you're gonna get sauced in the lost.
Oh my gosh, that's accurate too.
No, you really for me like I'm grateful, I'm fulfilled, I'm happy. I think what really helped me through that is just perspective because yeah,
Mm-hmm.
everybody wants to be you know a Super Bowl
I
champion.
just wanna be. I just wanna be
Exactly.
successful.
Yeah, everybody wants to be successful at what they do, but truly success I think is measured in one's perception of it and how they see
Mm-hmm.
it and how they
That
view it.
part.
When we were baristas, I think at one point we viewed a successful shift as one where
Man.
the rushes were tackled completely. No one was missing a drink. We didn't have
Yep.
to refund anyone, or
Or
now
we got out on time
exact
because
yes,
wow.
yes,
What is that?
it depends on the situation and the circumstance and how you view it.
Yeah.
So for me now, like, am I fulfilled? Do I feel fulfilled? Yes, 1,000%. I
Mm-hmm.
would never have envisioned myself living on my own, um, doing the damn thing, working a full-time job for
Mm-hmm.
the county of Los Angeles, uh, 5 to 10 years ago.
Right.
5 to 10 years ago, I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to do. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't. I didn't. I just was did what I was told growing up,
Right.
and
Right.
it wasn't until maybe a little bit after school, after high school, college, that I was like, okay, what is it that I want to do?
Mm-hmm.
What is it that I want to pursue?
Exactly.
Why is it that I want to pursue? Why is it that I want to do what? So
Yep.
it's been a long journey of me to figuring out like who I am, and because of that, I can thank God. Because of who God is, I've learned who I am.
Mm.
You know, and what I am, and what I want to do, what I want to pursue, and it's
I love
crazy
that.
because like there's no coincidence that Spider-Man's like my favorite Marvel hero character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, I'm bringing the
No, you're.
I got like 5 more clips I'm about to empty in analogies.
Hey, let's go.
But being that he's Spider-Man and webs are his thing, my I've seen the interweaving of my life, and that I've only been able to because of God and who He is and who I
Mm-hmm.
am in Him. Um, and because of that, I could say the last 2 3 years is just I've had a renewed sense of just like life. You know,
that's right.
I'm not as I mean, mind you, we're human, so we're not perfect. So there's moments of pessimism, moments of sadness, moments of anger, but there's a lot of less of that in my life because of just who I'm allowing, you know, God to be for me and who He is for me. Like it's not even a matter of allowing Him. It's just, you know, I can do nothing. Yep. You know, my first verse, my favorite verse, and my first verse that I can't always comes to mind is, you know, John 3:30. John the Baptist states, you know, He must increase and I must decrease. And he was basically saying that because he was, you know, prophesying the coming king, his cousin. You know, and so for me, like if that's the case, then it ain't about me. I want to be absolutely nothing, so he can be everything. Look, in my life, in those lives around me, because I know, and just because I'm saying I'm going down or diminishing myself to nothing means that like, oh, you know, so what? You're gonna become poor. You're gonna become this. Right. You're just gonna squander any like amazing. No, I'm not. Because at the end of the day, the one that I'm glorifying, that I'm lifting up through my living, is the reason of where I'm at in life. I've been blessed to, you know, participate in some really dope talks and meetings. You know, I handed coffee to some pretty influential and famous people. I've, you know, I've done, you know, what's it called? I worked on those 2 shows. I've played with some pretty amazing musicians. I've lived a full life. You know, I can go now and I'd be fine. But I know there's a lot more work to do. And in the words of our, you know, our boy, our guy, the job isn't finished. You know, and until I, you know, see that through, then I could be like, all right, God, you can take me now. Right. You know, and so for me, like, I want to continue to live a fulfilled life. You know, and be a vessel for God. Yeah, exactly, vessel for God, because I know if I'm doing that, I'm doing that for me. Because there's nothing else that can bring me joy than doing that.
You know? My biggest thing has always been, in all of the things that like my businesses, all of that, I'm like, I do, like, I want to be able to make sure that like I edify and glorify God, because there was a time in my life where like I felt like I shied away from being like truly who I am. And there's still times where like I think I'm still navigating and trying to figure out like how to be all authentically me. And you know, when it's like, because I'm so used to just taking the back seat and I'm like, I'm good, I don't need, you know, all of that. So, but I've never felt like I don't want to say like I never felt like I have a voice, but I've never felt like I have a voice that's like influential, right? I don't like, that's just not my aspiration to be like an influencer. So in that though, I'm like, but I do, like I have a voice. Like if there's this nagging feeling on me to like have a podcast, like I need to have a podcast. And then God, I need you to use me through that podcast. So whatever it is, like use me, whatever it is that you want to say, like say it through me. Like even before like we started this podcast, like as I pulled up and parked in my car, like I prayed before the podcast, like use us, Lord, like say whatever it is that you have to say, because that is authentically who I am. Like I grew up like that. Those are my roots, church, God, like that's my foundation. And so I was just like, I have to do this one for me and be really me. But yeah, that's why in the questions too, I'm like, well, I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable. So like, I don't know how real vulnerable you want to be, but please feel free to be you, because I mean, like, it's us. Like, it's a conversation. It's us. But also I know that God's going to use it and it's going to reach the right people. Like there's something that there's multiple things I'm sure that you've said that are going to change someone, reach someone, touch someone, you know? So like, I'm just grateful. I'm grateful. Point blank, period. Last couple questions. So you've also been on your weight loss tip, healthy journey. You look great. I'm so proud of you. Look, I remember he like started this and he was like, I'm posting every time I'm in the gym for accountability. And I was like, Okay, go off, baby, because I'm not that bold.
She
I'm
remembers that.
Yeah, I do. I was like,
That's
I'm not
funny.
that bold. I ain't gonna tell y'all I'm doing all that.
Yeah.
So I love that. But weight loss is like both a physical and a mental journey.
Yes.
So with that, what was like your biggest hurdle? Was it more the mental? Was it what was your just biggest hurdle in that journey?
I want to say mental,
Okay.
because I mean, let's face it. There's days where I don't want to be in the gym.
Right.
You know, I mean, and then mind you, like it, it's mental because like I could do the work. I've done the work. You know, like and I'm talking about it in like I guess a third person sense of view, like making it sound not about the gym because you could apply it to life too, which is um, you just got to show up for yourself. And in that instance, like you have to be intentional. You have to, you know, and you have to have a schedule. You know, so for me, like it's not weight loss, but weight release. Because if you lose something, you can find it.
Okay. Yo, bars. Where's the EP, baby?
Man, that I heard from motivational workshop.
I love that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, yeah, I'm just it's mental too because it's not just being in the gym; it's also like eating right and saying no to those god darn delicious temptations that we love to indulge in. You know, whether that be sweets, you know, drinks, whatever the case may be. You know, like yeah, I don't deprive myself. Like I like.
That'd be the problem too. People be like cold turkey, nothing, and then they're miserable.
Like you gotta have a you know I wouldn't call it a cheat day, but have yourself a nice little you know cheat meal, I guess. But you could even have a cheat meal and still be healthy.
Right.
You know that you could have something really lean, nice, delicious. You know, so for me, just you know the mental part being in there. I hate it when like you get sick unintentionally, and that really messes me up mentally too. Because in my mind, my body is programmed, predisposed to be at the gym for about 45 minutes to 2 hours doing some type of activity. It doesn't even have to be lifting weights. Like one of the things I've been incorporating is, you know, basketball. I have access to, you know, my gym at work, and I'll go and play like after hours. You know, when everyone's gone, I'll stay around. I'll shoot around. I'll have, you know, some friends come over, and dude, that workout because it's just like high intensity.
Yep.
You're pivoting. You're, you know, stopping and you're going again. Like, oh man, what was it last week? Yeah, no, actually this week. Played Monday. Didn't feel my soreness until Wednesday. I was like, all right, thank God, because there was a moment there where I wasn't feeling sore after these like basketball games, and you know, we have the shot machine, so we'll just you know shoot until we're dead.
Yeah, I know and, that's right. That's so fire.
So for me, it's just the mental part, like physical. I mean, mind you, yeah, it's a part of it, but I think that's why we're there because if you have an injury, don't neglect it.
Right.
You know, if you feel sick, don't neglect it. Like, I respect to you know those gym rats that are, what's it called, aware of their surroundings. That come in with, you know, masks or you know they'll clean up after they use stuff.
We appreciate y'all.
Yeah, thank you because you know like everyone's on a journey and you can just tell a lot about a person when they're in there and they do stuff like that. It's like when you go to the grocery store and you know you're looking for parking and you see some person like there's only one of two people. Person who leaves the cart there that they just used.
Oh my gosh.
Doesn't move it. Right. And then there's one that literally walks it all the way back to their cart return.
Yep.
You're a real one.
Yep.
You're the hope we have in humanity. When aliens go mainstream, you're gonna be safe.
What he said.
I'm messing. I don't know. But yeah, no, yeah,
for real though.
Mentals.
No, I agree with that for sure. It's definitely the mental part for me. I'm like, if I have to drive too far to get to my gym, I mean to talk myself out of it before I got there. Like it's just it's really the mental part. And like even with being sick, there's times where it's like I'm sick and I'm like, okay, well let me wear a mask, but let me also like go sit in the sauna to try and sweat it out. But it's like realistically, if I'm sick, that also probably means that my body already need rest. Like my immunity is broken down because I probably haven't been getting rest. So I don't need to go work out and do more. And so it's that balance of like, yes, the mental overcoming it and like whatever you're telling yourself, but also being realistic and being like, yo, no, for real, I need rest, or I need to give myself some grace, chill out before I do have an injury.
Strategically, just planning, taking it easy.
Exactly. So my 3 words. Now, granted, focus. I've been hearing God say that word for a long time now. Like I need to focus, but it also ended up being the word of the year for my church this year. So now that word is added on to my other 2 words, which have been consistency and discipline. And all of that together is what it really is. Like that's what keeps me going. Because I'd be like, all right, we built the discipline. Stay consistent. Come on. I really be having to hype myself up because I'm like,
I feel it. I don't
want to sometimes. I don't want to.
I'm there too.
But I'm on a journey, so I have to fulfill. Like I have a goal. It's me versus me, and I refuse to let me down. I'm betting on me this time. So, last question, because I was also going to ask you like, what's next? What areas are still transforming? So like you kind of talked about that. You can still touch on it if you want to, but the question is, if you could talk to yourself a year ago, what advice would you give yourself?
Be patient. I know that's not what you want to hear right now, but be patient. Stick it through, and just push. Push yourself. I think a year ago, I was in the gym. I was, yeah, dude. I'm happy that I could say that because there were seasons of my life where I did nothing of physical like activity. So yeah, just be patient, keep doing what you're doing, and then I think I would probably stress: do not spend your money on stupidity. Don't waste it on things you feel like you need or you deserve. No, just wait. Yeah,
I feel that.
Because one of the things is just I just squander my money on real dumb crap. And
my pastor had a sermon, like usually every March, I think it is. We do like a money series, and one of his sermon titles, one of the years was like the mismanagement of millions, and I feel like that was like an uppercut to my jaw because I was like, no, for real though. Like all the years, I was like, I really feel like I've mismanaged millions because of X, Y, and Z, and now I'm like, it's okay. Lesson learned. I had to learn the lesson, but why'd I have to learn it the hard way? I didn't. That wasn't God's plan, but here we are. So it's okay.
Well, I mean,
it could have been God's plan. He's like, baby, you need to grow up. So here, go ahead. But I hate it now, and it's okay. It's gonna be all right.
Well, I mean, to live comfortably, you gotta, work a little uncomfortable. So
facts, major facts, major facts.
But yeah.
Okay, I love that advice though. I feel that. For myself, shoot. Yeah. I feel that. I'll tell my 29-year-old self that.
Yeah, I can't believe you just turned 30.
I know, right? Me neither. That's good crazy, God. Yeah. And like, look, we're back in May. I'm about to be 31. Way! You know.
Was it Gemini season?
Yeah, Gemini season. Okay, so I usually end the show with I don't even remember how many seconds I do myself, and it's my show. That's crazy. Y'all tell me, how many seconds do I do? Whatever. Let's say 30 seconds of rapid fire. No, let's say like 40 seconds because I talk slow sometimes. 40 seconds of rapid fire questions.
Okay.
I might not need 40 seconds. It's only 10 questions this time. We'll see. Okay. 40 seconds, rapid fire. Hit me. Morning or night owl? Morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Dream vacation spot?
Puerto Rico.
Hey.
Old San Juan.
Go-to comfort food?
Ooh, if I'm not crazy, Chinese takeout, lasagna.
Ooh, okay. Would you rather time travel to the past or the future?
Future.
Okay, coffee or tea?
Oh my god. I've learned to love and appreciate both, but I will forever be a tea guy.
Okay.
Sorry.
And if you instantly had to master a skill, what would it be?
Instantly had to master a skill. Damn. Rapid fire, rapid fire. Probably like master, be a my base.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Bet. Okay. Well, that was 40 seconds. There's only, I think we only missed like 3. That's pretty good. You did that. Bet. Well, any final words? Anything you want to leave the audience with? Anything you want to? Obviously, you need to tell them where to find you, how to follow you, how to get in touch with you. Unless you're trying to slide in his DMs. Well, I mean, look, I wish him the best. I'll be at the wedding if you guys get married. But also, but you do. You need to tell people where to find you.
um, you'd follow me on Insta. I think my handle is Alejandro Miguel Morales.
Oh, okay. Oh, you see how he rolled them R's? See, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
yeah, it's basically my first and my name, but translated to Spanish. Facebook. What else am I on? I'm on Twitter, but I think I'm gonna delete that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I go to Dayspring Church. If y'all want to come by, Mission Hills. And thank you for having me on.
Of
this
course. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
I appreciate it so much. I love you so much.
I love you more.
Thanks for spending time with us, y'all. Thanks for checking out another episode. I promise that I will continue. Look, I don't know if any other guests can kind of top the conversation me and Alex just had, so good luck to me. But I promise to continue.
Challenge you to top it, please.
I don't know.
We're out here making each other better.
To try and bring you some more quality fire guests as this man has been. But yeah, again, I really thank you for your time. It was great to see you and reconnect. Likewise. Make sure you guys follow and connect with him. You can also follow and connect with me. You can just follow the main hub, which is, I got so many Instagrams. This is my brand, y'all. Love Vibes. You can follow this page too. Love.vibes. But my main hub where you can find everything is smile_4_Manda. That's across Instagram and TikTok. So both of those. And then yes, you can follow the brand and anything else that you find on my hub because I have a lot going on in my life. Other than that, until next time, peace.